Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed what you've just heard of me playing some drone flute, this particular drone flute in the tunnel. Actually the weather has just turned and it's beautiful now, thankfully, in the UK. But that recorded last week for Facebook actually was me just trying to dodge the rain to be out and about and to play my flute, and finding that tunnel, which I've been in before, just provided the perfect little bit of respite from the rain and allowed me to actually get some reverb, which I spoke about on another video. Speaking of other videos, if you look in the playlists and you're looking to get going with Native American style flute playing, there's like 5 or 6 beginners tutorials in there. If you haven't seen them, go and check them out. I've popped on here after that little video just to keep things ticking over in this space, because I will eventually come back. I have just moved and unpacked and bought some loads of tools, and I've now started getting to grips with all of the work. Here's a drone flute that I'm working on at the moment. It's overexposing, but you kind of get the idea. Love making drone flutes, love making singular flutes as well. I don't think people particularly need drone flutes, especially too early. They're very expensive, or they can be, but also they're much harder to play. They take more breath. You have to do awkward bridging over the first flute. Don't recommend them. Yes, they're beautiful. Don't recommend them for beginners though. I also think that they can slow down because you become a little bit reliant on the second kind of. You've got another natural sound to go to within the flute, and that's one reason why they're so amazing, drone flutes. But actually, if you're learning, you're better off trying to just accomplish a little bit more with a singular flute before you become overly reliant on that. And then you can add, I'm not going to tell anybody how to play flute really, but I'm just saying you don't need to run out and buy a drone flute if you're a beginner. So what I would really love when we continue these videos is some questions. So big shout out for any questions, anything that you would like me to cover as a subject on, particularly on Native American style flute playing that doesn't yet exist within my videos thus far. So if there's a technique that you're unsure about, maybe you've watched some of my videos and you didn't understand something, maybe you've watched some of my videos and you're just a little bit unclear, and maybe because on some of them I've covered 2 or 3, 4 perhaps subjects in one hit, maybe I could dive deeper into one particular one. Maybe I could break down the real basics of how to hold the flute more comfortably, or go the other side, the other end of the scale, and be the complex nature of advanced playing or something. I have one, and I'd like some feedback whether you like the idea of this as a video. But here's an interesting thing actually. I was watching something on YouTube probably about 4 years ago, and I don't remember the name of the guy, unfortunately, and I can't find it. I didn't save it or anything like that, but he was a Native American guy, or I think was his mother or father was, and he was obviously brought up with a deep understanding and a deep connection with a certain tribe, and forgive me again, I forget which one, but in that community he was on stage. So the video that I saw of him, he was on stage and he had all of these beautifully said, there were no drone flutes there, beautifully simply presented, authentic, probably almost antiques, handcrafted, original Native American flutes. So when he would select each one out of his beautifully protective case and he was on stage with the audience, he was then going through the process of explaining each piece that he was about to play, and there was a story connected to a lot of what he was doing. So, and I have only heard this in this one video before, but I love the idea of it, whether it was common practice throughout all Native American First Nation communities, or whether it was just, I don't know, some people did it this way, some people didn't, I don't know. But what a beautiful idea to actually help us in our improvised flute playing. I think might be an idea to investigate telling a story, because he was definitely telling a story through sound. There was an explanation. There were words to accompany the story, not singing. It was a story told by flute music, but the story of that flute music which followed. You know, so let me know if that's an idea you might like me to dive into, and to perhaps even try and demonstrate some. I wouldn't ask anybody to guess what my story was, but I quite often visualize whilst I'm playing, and maybe you could try that too. That's just an array of things, but I would really appreciate some questions, any feedback, or anything that I might be able to bring forward to explore within this community. Many thanks, so much love to all of you. Thank you for bearing with me during this busy time. I will be back very soon with another video.